almost.
So I'm recording now, just in case my answer can be useful to other people. What is the difficulty for you to sort of hear that there are two worlds? Where is the difficulty?
Because I guess as humans we would live in those two worlds, which would make us, it would sort of imply a division in us to live in. We were sort of living in two worlds, in an exterior and an interior.
Why is it a division? Why do you want to cancel yourself? If you study psychology and not spiritual theology, you will find that our soul has different faculties. We have the conscious part, the subconscious part, and so forth. Is this, does this mean that we are split? This is our being, and it is with this being that we live in this world. And sometimes we forget that we have an inner world. We don't explore it. I don't know. Where is the difficulty for you?
I think, I don't know, just the idea of the two worlds. I don't know, that
so you prefer one world, which is the world you see, and forget about yourself.
One world with different levels or aspects, but the idea of two worlds just feels quite because
they're not alien to each other.
God and souls and angels, and then there's our world here, but God came to our world. It's all one world. Shouldn't it be all one world?
It is one world if you want.
Just different aspects or different levels or different degrees, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just
if the expression world, if the word world is annoying, I don't mind, I can remove it. But what I mean by it, I won't remove it, which is, I was quoting, for instance, St. Teresa of Avila. She says, it's not because we don't see the soul that the soul is not there. The soul is there. And let me show you the different mentions inside of this soul, and this world, call it the way you want, is immense, and God is at the center of this world. So for a person who never paid attention to himself or herself, that's a shocking discovery. It means I was paying attention to the outer world. I wasn't paying attention to an entire world. When many years ago, I wrote some articles on St. Teresa of Avila, and one of them had the title Mapping Spiritual Life, Mapping the Soul. It's something that occurred way before Freud or Jung or others, and she showed us that the human being is much more than what we see and hear or feel. If the expression world creates a division, that's fine. We can remove it. But how do you want me to express it? It's really a new world. I even compared her work to the discovery of the New World by Christopher Columbus. So I don't know. It is true. How can you understand, just along the line of the shocking bits, how can you understand a man or a woman who would spend their entire life enclosed in a monastery? It's extremely boring, no? Of course, they have the monastery, but it's exactly the same thing. The same prayers repeated, the same persons they meet, etc. It's extremely boring. So if there is no other dimension, well, if you prefer dimension instead of world, if there is no other dimension, then what are they doing there? There is another dimension, thank God.
Okay. No, okay.
The invisible world.
Yeah.
No, we say it in the creed. No, he created the visible and the invisible. They are not separated per se, but for us, they are separated in the sense that one is absent and one is present. In this sense. So if I haven't explored this inner part of myself, I have only one world, which is the visible world. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking that this can occur. And this is the risk or the danger or the deviation, whatever, call it whatever you want, or reduction, or, I don't mind. I'm not fanatical about certain words, that it can occur for our celebration of the liturgy. If I attend the liturgy only with what I see, well, I'm sorry. That's not what Jesus says. He says, enter in your room. So there are people who don't know about this room, never heard of this room, never learned how to enter in the room. We are not born knowing about this world or knowing how to enter in this room. So I don't know. Does this make sense? I don't know.
No, it does. It actually makes a lot of sense. And I think when you use the word dimension, it suddenly felt much clearer. I think for me, I just guess I conceive it more as a depth than as another world. It's,
but where is the depth?
Because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's another world. It's
where
still
is the
this
depth?
world. It's just another depth of this world, which is not visible, isn't it?
Where is this depth?
Well, everybody has it.
Where is it?
Like in what physical space?
Your soul.
To a certain extent, yes.
Well, it's in us, but it's
Yeah, it's in us. So
potentially everywhere, because we're surrounded by angels we don't see. So it's all around us. It's not just in us.
Of course, but it's in us also.
We just don't see, but it doesn't make it another world. It's just another dimension, perhaps. No, yes, you said, yeah.
That's
okay,
fine. That's
sorry.
Fine. We won't argue about the expression, but we need to understand each other. So
yes.
Teresa of Avila says something along the line of what I'm trying to say. She says, I used to pray before, but the day I learned that God is at the center of our being and that inside of us we have a heaven, everything changed in my life. This is Teresa of Avila, not me. So she said she didn't know about it. She was Christian, she was even a nun for many years, etc. But she says, the day I discovered that God is at the center of my being, instead of shouting, remember now the old problem, you imagine Jerusalem, you imagine the holy land, no? So when you pray, your mind is turned there. This is why we had the Crusades, by the way, because we wanted to be able to access that holy place. Then suddenly somebody tells her, when you want to meditate, just don't transport yourself in this dimension. I'm using your word. In this dimension there in the Holy Land, you have this same dimension and even better inside of you. She said, everything started to change because I didn't have to make a huge effort to be there. I just needed to talk to him or listen to him because he was just there. And then, of course, there is the exploration of this dimension.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for asking the question and voicing your difficulty, because this helped me clarify. I'm not fanatical about the expression, even though I like it. It is a bit shocking. Why not? You see, this is the result. Your question, and this is what I wanted. You know, I'm a little bit of a provocateur. You know, I tickle. Okay.